Hey y'all, it's Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA. This is Owen and Tanner. We're going to take a Sunday stroll around the place. So I think the guys are riding four-wheelers and we'll check on the meat birds. Maybe we'll make it up to the egg production chickens. But I just went through the garage. I'm going to show you what I saw. Oh my. This is not like, you don't want to walk onto this kind of scene. So I actually, we're actually just hanging out. It's Sunday, and we're doing things, but there's not like the schedule that there is Monday through Saturday. But we made the joke. They were mowing yesterday with this old mower, and they made the joke they ran the diesel out of mower. So I guess it ran out of fuel. But I'm pretty sure there's more going on than running out of fuel here from the looks of it. So I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm sure there was maintenance that needed. But I had just gone around the corner of the garage there and had actually asked my oldest son and youngest son, because they're out here with their four-wheelers. We'll walk around the corner. But had actually asked them, where's the other guys at? And so they said that the other guys are at the parts store. So I can pick up my beverage here. This is where my oldest son works, Monday through Friday. There you go. Diesel mechanic place, mechanic shop. So these guys have been four-wheeling. Hi guys. Hi Huck Truck. Hi 44B Drill Master. Can we get a wave? Oh. So if you're old enough to remember, what's the show? Tim Allen. Well, y'all aren't old enough to remember, but you know because we show you. What's it called? Home Improvements. Who's on Home Improvements? We never ever see his face. Not Al Wilson. So I think Drill Master is pulling the Wilson. Full Wilson on us. But anyway, so they went to the parts store, I'm assuming to get parts for that mower. So let's just Sunday stroll it on down here to the meat bird barn. So this is poor Betty pickup truck, the blue Dodge. A lot of backstory on Betty, but she will have to go to scrap. And here's the meat birds. So what are we looking at on the meat birds, y'all? What are we looking at on the meat birds? I'm thinking 111. 111. Y'all know what, if you've watched my videos before at Twin Oaks Farm Poultry on YouTube, you know what I'm scanning the pen for, right? What are we scanning the pen for first thing when we walk into the meat bird pen? Sorry, I think we lost the picture there. Sorry about that. We're looking for dead birds. And the good news is, I don't see dead birds. I can see, we could actually turn off all the heat lamps. There's 8 heat lamps they're on. Our temperature outdoors is about 70 degrees. Woo! So actually the birds would be very content with the heat lamps off. But fortunately, in our case, the birds have enough room to get away from the heat lamps. So they're not gonna, it's not a danger that they're gonna overheat. We're just donating to the electric company, right? But it's not a danger that they're going to overheat because they have lots and lots of space to get away from the heat lamps because our stocking density is minimal. Now, if you had 3 times the amount of birds in here and it created a situation where birds could not get away from the heat lamps, that would be a problem for some birds. They could overheat. But I will go in there when I'm done recording and turn off heat lamps. But 111. Y'all know this isn't going to upload until Monday, April 15th, 2024, but we're recording on Sunday, April 14th, 2024. And these birds go to processor on April 16th, 2024. So they'll go to the processor at 37 days old. They're 35 days old now. And what I was thinking out loud was, when I'm done recording, I'm going to go in there and unplug all these 8 heat lamps because they don't need them. How do we know that as a producer? As a producer, livestock producer, we're always watching our animals. We're checking them frequently. We're always watching quality of life. We're always assessing their behavior and evaluating what we need to adjust. So why are they telling me we don't need heat lamps on? I'm looking where the birds are. So they're back in this corner, no supplemental heat. They're against the temporary wall in the middle of the barn, no supplemental heat there. They're sitting up there, no supplemental heat there, and just a few random birds out here where some sunlight is coming in. But they're definitely telling us we're not interested in sitting where the supplemental heat is, so we can turn the supplemental heat off. Now, as we get into evening later today, and the temperature's cool, we probably will have to turn those back on, because finished Cornish rock cross meat chickens, even at ready to go to the processor, they still want it to be about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So if we get down to 45 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit, then they're gonna be chilly birds. Chilly birds. So 111. We started with 126. It's not quite as bad as it sounds. 111 over here, and there's 3 over on the other side of the short wall, on the other side of the barn, with another little group of birds. Oh, sorry, we lost the light again. That one is sleeping. Please don't be concerned about it. But there's 3 more of these birds in what we're calling a recovery pen. And I will tell you, before we move on from the meat bird barn, the really cool thing about running like some kind of, we call it a recovery pen, but if you're raising Cornish rock cross meat chickens, if you can set up, when you start your flock, if you can set up a second area, it doesn't have to be big, but a second area that's small in size, that can be a pen you can move birds to that exhibit weakness. That helps the birds that are weaker by giving them a safer, less stressful place to live. That also helps the birds that are thriving by not having different levels of progress in the very same pen. So we're trying to keep in a big pen of birds like this, and this is a relatively small pen, but still in a pen, of like 100 plus, we're trying to keep uniformity of growth throughout each individual in the flock to the best of our ability. So we want to be able to have the feeders at the same height, the waters at the same height. We want make the ambient conditions throughout the pen as consistent as we possibly can, but we want all the birds to be about the same size so that they can utilize all the features of the pen, right? So that's why we talk about uniformity of growth. So if we have birds that are runts, or if we have birds that experience leg problems, or if we have birds that have heart weakness that we've identified, and hopefully we don't have disease, but if we identify disease, we need to deal with that and get those birds out of the main flock as well. So those are reasons that you would have a second pen that, like I said, we called a recovery area. I guess that's a symbol of hope that we hope we can recover those birds and keep them on schedule with the processing date. But even if they don't recover, or can't go to, or don't grow, up to finished size, and can't go to processing with their flock for us, at least they've had better quality of life being in a calmer, less stressful area than having to compete with birds that are thriving, because that's the crux of it. That's the bottom line. When you have birds that are weak for whatever reason, runt, injury, whatever it is, heart weakness, when you have birds that are weak, they really can't compete with birds that are thriving, because all these birds want the resources. They want food, they want water, they want the temperature they want, they need the space they want, and they have to have bedding that accommodates the heavy manure load from chickens. So they're all competing for this set of resources. And if we set the pen up with resources that work well for the thriving birds, what we run into is the weak birds really have a difficulty accessing the resources. So the other thing that goes along with that we've gotten to is that we do run a recovery pen, and as soon as we see, like if we see a bird in this group looking weak, exhibiting heart distress, exhibiting failure to thrive, exhibiting runniness, runt, RUNTINESS, runtiness, we'll pull it out of this pen, we'll put it in the recovery pen, and we'll see what happens. And one thing I can say that is kind of encouraging about that is we've gotten to the point as a production system where we seldom, if ever, lose birds to mortality out of our pen at large, like this pen. When we do lose birds, almost 100% of the time they're coming out of the recovery pen, which is sounds like a bad thing, but is a good thing, because what it means is, as producers, we're progressing in our discernment of recognizing ahead of time when a bird is struggling and not doing well. So we can pull it out of the flock at large, put it in a calmer, less stressful area, hopefully to help that bird itself, but it also helps the whole flock at large. So 111 Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. I'm going to defend my meat chickens. They're not FrankenChickens. They've been the product of specialized, I'm trying to zoom way back out because I'm going to turn the camera around. But Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens are the product of, can y'all see? I'm trying to get Tanner there. I think you can see it, but I'm struggling to see it on my screen. But he's our little Dotson. He's not quite a year old. He is the best little buddy. But with these Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens, y'all, they're not FrankenChickens. They're the result of specialized breeding over multiple generations with multiple breeds since the 1940s in the United States of America. And it's fitting then to see the picture of a dog kind of juxtaposed with that. I'm going to turn this camera around. Kind of juxtaposed with that. We're going to take a walk. Because, you know, a big thing, like in my area, is when people want dogs, but maybe they have an allergy to the dog hair or pet dander, you know, they'll look for a dog that has been especially bred with specialized breedings. They'll look for a dog that doesn't shed. And they're actually called hypoallergenic dogs. And these are the product of specialized breeding. It is no different. It's no different than our Cornish Rock Cross meat chickens. They are the product of specialized breeding.